Hello, this is Mark from tradingform.com and welcome to this video on how to choose the best technical indicator for traders. And before I go any further, I'd like to remind you that if you enjoy this video, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. And if you want more information, there is more information below this video. So this video is about how to choose the best technical indicator. Obviously, the best technical indicator will depend on a lot of different factors. It will depend on your type of strategy, the type of market you're trading. It will depend on the time of year you're trading, possibly. It will depend on the time of day you are trading, definitely. So there are all sorts of factors that will affect the best technical indicator. So does that mean that there is any purpose trying to find the best technical indicator? Well, yes, of course. As traders, we need to be objective, we need to be analytical, and we need to have the best information that we possibly can. So in this video, I'm going to look at how we can test for the best technical indicator given the constraints, the limitations that I have just mentioned. So anytime we do an analysis, financial market analysis, we need some data, and I have my favorite market here, the S&P 500 of US large cap stocks, and I have data from 1996 up to the end of 2017. So we have over 20 years worth of data here. How can we find out the best technical indicator for this market? Well, I'm going to do it using a spreadsheet in Microsoft Excel. Now this is a trade-informed backtest spreadsheet, which I am going to mention here is a great way that anybody can test their own trading strategies. You can quite easily change the market and time frame. You can test all sorts of different technical indicators, and you can change the entries. You can trade long and short, and you can use different stops, trailing stops and profit targets to refine the strategy. Now there is a link on the screen at the moment if you would like more information about TradingForm backtest models. So the model that I've got here today, as I mentioned, we've got data from the S&P 500, and for the purpose of this analysis I'm looking at 4 of the most popular technical indicators. I've got the stochastic oscillator, I've got the RSI, relative strength index, I've got the MACD, and I've got Bollinger Bands. I've also got random entry, and I will come to why I've got that in a bit. So in the spreadsheet here we have the data, we have the indicators, and we have the backtest calculations. So I'm going to click here onto the results. And you can see here that I've got the entries in the same order. I've got the stochastic, RSI, MACD, and Bollinger. And I've got these tabs here, these checkboxes that I can use to test, to switch on each strategy. Now I've got lots of different variables here. I've got targets, I've got stop losses, trailing stops, but I'm not using them in this analysis, because in any analysis we always want to change just one factor and see what the effect of that change is. We've got different variables here, and I've set them to the standard variables for each indicator. So you can see that's a rise above, across above 20 for the stochastic, across above 30 for the RSI, across above the 0 line for the MACD histogram, and a rise above a 2 standard deviation Bollinger Band lower band. Right, so as I said, we can click between the strategies here and we can see the results reflected over here. So I've got these results here which are for the stochastic, and I'm going to show you how we can use this spreadsheet to compare each of them quite quickly. Now I've set the number of days exit before the close. Now this is the only exit system that I'm using here, and this simply is trying to get a feel for if each indicator can actually have some advantage over not using this indicator. So I've set it initially as just a 2-day close. So we have our cross, the strategy is open for 2 days, and then it closes. So I'm going to click this button and it is going to transfer the results over here. Now this is the stochastic 2-day. Go back to results. I'm going to click onto the RSI. I'm going to copy the results again. I'm going to write up each one so we can be organized and see which one is having the biggest effect. Got MACD, click it across. I'm going to label it again, MACD after 2 days. Finally, Bollinger Band. Okay, so we have the 4 different types of entry, different technical indicators, and we have some results. We can see in this very first test that Bollinger Band is clearly the most profitable out of the 4 tested. Now, there's something going on with this market that we can all see. We're testing a long type of strategy, but this market is tending to go up. It is actually up for more days than it is down. So is this going to affect the results? Well, all we need to do to find out if it is to look at a random entry. Now I've set up a random entry and I've set it up so that it enters a position at random every 3 in 100 bars when there isn't already a strategy. If I click this, you can see how random entry looks. And if you're familiar with Excel, you know that we can update these random values by clicking a button. And we're running lots of different scenarios, which is quite confusing because they're showing quite different results. Well, we can account for that, and one way we can do that is to run a number of different scenarios. And I've set up a button to do exactly that, and it's going to chug through 10 different random entry scenarios and take a simple average of those scenarios. We see down here what our average results are. Comparing the net profit and profit factor and any other variable you like, we can see how it compares to the technical indicators. And for this one, you can see that the net profit is actually greater than 3 of the indicators, the only exception being Bollinger Bands. Okay, we test, as I said, we try one thing at a time, and we're trying to find out what's having an effect. So let's change it to 5 days after the close. So a position is open for 1 week. And we can do the same thing again. Test the stochastic, copy it across, label it so we know what it refers to, and we'll call it the stochastic 5-day. Here we've got the RSI, RSI 5-day. We've got the MACD 5-day. And the final indicator, Bollinger. Just copy that across. And because we want to be as fair as we can, we're going to switch off the indicator and we're going to switch on the random entry. And we're going to run 10 different scenarios. Just going to chug through those again, and we're going to have a simple average of those values. So we can see that comparing our 5 days, interestingly, once again, the random entry is actually stronger than 3 of the 4 technical indicators, with the exception of Bollinger Band. So for the purposes of this test, we can say that Bollinger Band has shown itself to be stronger than random entry over a short time period, and also stronger than the other technical indicators. Now you might wonder, what sort of other things can we change? Well, lots. And this is the purpose. As I said at the start, we're trying to be objective, analytical, and come up with useful information that we can use as part of robust trading strategies. So I hope you found this video useful. As I said before, please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and also if you would like more information about the financial markets and to see more models and analysis like this, please go to www.tradeinformed.com.